Hey, what's going on, G-Ballers? Today, I have an exciting new knife here to share with you coming in from CJRB. If this is your first time stopping by, welcome to GBall Vision. Drop a comment down below and let me know what your EDC is for today. This is going to be a new release, and I am very excited about this one. I believe it's going to bring a tremendous value to this price point, and I think it's a price point that Artisan and CJRB have really been targeting, which is between $80 and $100. And this knife here is going to come in just under $100 at, I think, $99.99. This is the CJRB bolt. It is available, and I'll have links to it down in the description. They also have a titanium variant that just recently came out. Now, this is going to be sporting some really nice green micarta handles here. They do have a slight contour to them. If you aren't familiar, they came out with the original CJRB bolt a couple months back, not that long ago, maybe 2 months ago, and it was the first time they introduced the V2 recoil lock, which is a crossbar and fin lock. It works very good. Now, we're in the day and age of knives that have multi-deploying options, but also multi-disengagement options. So it's a hell of a time to be into the knife world. And that leads us into our next phase of the knife world. That is the value that CJRB and Artisan are targeting right now. They are just killing it more than anyone, I would say, in my opinion at least, in that price point. We're going to be looking at micarta and s90V here for just under $100. Now, they also, if you love performance, this is one hell of an option. They also offer knives like this here that come in around the $80 price point with s90V and contoured FRN handles. But if you want to go the other route, say you're not worried about blade performance so much, you just want a good steel, but you want a quality handle. Well, they have you covered under $100 for that as well with the Artisan Satyr with a titanium handle, and it's not just a flat regular bead blasted handle. We do actually have some texturing that's been done, really nice machining, and then they come with a standard deep carry clip, and then they have a nice sand polished RPM 9 blade. The other is going to be one of my all-time favorite knives under $100 is the Ray Laconico's Revel here. We have a titanium handle and a beautiful straight clip point blade in RPM 9. I even bought another clip to go on this because it definitely deserves it. And I might get one for the new bolt here too. But the value that they are bringing is insane when it comes to $80 and $100. I just don't think they can be beat right now. You'll have to let me know in the comments if you think that, you know, there's somebody ahead of them, but I haven't found them. If there is, that they just are absolutely killing it right now. I think at the beginning of the year, they were like, let's focus on $80 to $100, $75 to $100, and just bring a tremendous value to the table. And I think, you know, and they also started targeting like the $30 range with FRN and RPM 9. So, man, it's even more than 75 to 100, but it's just, that's what really sticks out to me at least. Now, in regards to the size of this knife, it's not some skimpy knife either. We're looking at 2 3/4 of cutting edge, 3 1/4 of total blade, and this is coming down there right at like 7, and we'll give it 3/8 strong. It's getting close to 7.5. Now, that's going to compare up nicely with a lot of your little bit larger, about mid-size to large knives. Should be very close to something like the Raccoon here, and it'll be just a touch smaller than something like the Militol, because that is going to come in just under 8 or hitting right at 8. So something like the Raccoon, that'll give you a great idea on the size of this, and even up to and next to the pyrite light here in S90V, going to be very comparable to that as well. Now we'll get our 50 ways baked in G-ball hank out here, and we'll check this pocket clip. And just from experience, this is a phenomenal clip. They've used it often. I wouldn't mind if they shortened it up just a little bit, and they did that recently on, I forget which model it was, but they actually shortened it up just a little bit, and I think that would make it even better. But as far as doing what it's supposed to, keeping the knife in your pocket, carrying pretty deep, and also being comfortable in the hand, it does a good job and it looks clean. So I have no complaints with the clip they are using. For the most part, companies have started to do a lot better job when it comes to the budget range pocket clips. Get the arch nemesis off the shelf here, and we'll give this thing a weight check. I invite you all to play along when I guess the weight of this knife. Put your guess down in the comments. What do you think this knife weighs right here? I'm going to give it a go. We have just under 7.5 inches of total length here. So we have recessed steel liners, but it's light, guys. The steel liners have a bunch of milling in there. They're recessed. I think this is under 3. I'm going to say right around 2.8. 2.8. Oh! Oh, you little bugger. 72 grams. I've been like up and down all week. I've nailed some. I've been like 0.5 off. I'll take it though. 0.2 isn't too shabby. We'll go ahead and we'll get a couple measurements here on this handle and our blade. We're looking at 0.47 and 12 millimeters on the dot. For our handle thickness, we got 2.7 millimeters blade stock, and we are going to be looking at 107 thousandths for our behind the edge thickness. We're going to be looking at 23 thousandths, so very average, or maybe just under average, you could say. Just under. And then 0.63 millimeters. Let's go ahead and see how this S90V bolt cuts out of the box. We'll go ahead and use some catalog paper for that, and this straight clip point style blade is going to poke very, very well, poke and pierce, and S90V is going to have a nice long edge retention to it, and I have had no issues, and I haven't actually heard of anyone having any issues with the S90V out of Artisan. So you would have, you know, no fear about going and picking up something from them in S90V. I just love that blade shape as well. This thing is going to be fidgety as all hell if that's something that you enjoy or like about knives or want a part of your knife. I mean, it's hard to get, at least right now, there are a few knives that do it, but having multi-disengagements, there's a couple that do, but not very many. And this one with the crossbar lock, it just makes it very, very fun. It just gives it that added characteristic to, you know, it really doesn't allow you to get bored because you just have so many different ways to open this thing up, whether it's with the fin, with the crossbar. You can use the studs to kick it out with your thumb or reverse flick, and because it's a crossbar lock, you can easily kind of pinch and slow roll it out, and it's a good size. I wouldn't mind if it was just a little bit bigger, but it is a decent size. Now we're looking at T8 for the body, T8 for the pivot and body, and then T6, I believe, on the clip for now. I know they are working on changing that, but I think it might be just a little bit, but they are aware of it. But they use good bits, and you know, you're either going to switch this or leave it be and you'll be done with it. But regardless, if you have good Torx bits like the ones that come in this off-grid driver, you're going to be good to go. Comes with a T6, 8, and 10 made out of aluminum. Always linked down in the description along with the 50 Ways Hanks, and highly recommend both of them. Yeah, I really don't have many complaints at all with this knife. Nice sharpening choil. You know, you can kind of use that as a finger choil tip, fingertip choil, and that allows you to get up a little bit closer to that edge, and that gives you the ability to control this even better. And everything about it works very well. If you're in the standard grip, having this little ramp here, it's really nice to kind of lodge your thumb into it if you're really getting into something, and that in nature is going to increase the spring strength because you're pushing up into the tang of the blade when you're doing that. So it's just going to keep it locked up even better. And not that a crossbar lock has issues with its strength. It doesn't by any stretch. It just adds a little bit more to it. Similar to the Scorpion lock. Not in the same, you know, not in the same degree or mechanism wise, but in an idea, you know, you're holding that up or pushing it up along with the tension of the springs. You know, that's going to give you a little bit of added safety and security. Now, our centering might be off just a touch to the show side. Maybe. Yeah, it is just a touch off to the show side. We'll go ahead and we'll roll this thing over and we'll check this lockout with the spine whacker. Spine whacker always gives us the final say. That edge looks beautiful. Let's go ahead and get old Spiny off the shelf, and we'll see what this new CJRB bolt is made of here, and I think we're going to be just fine. We'll go ahead and give this thing a couple of love taps out towards the tip to get us going, and we'll see what happens from there. Okay, just to get us going. Go to the middle. Give it a triple tap. Close it and check it. Very good. Very good. That's exactly what we want to see. We'll run this through a couple of checks here, and we'll make sure she's running perfectly fine. Probably can fix that up with messing around with the pivot, I'm going to guess. Yeah, this is really solid. If you're looking for performance, this is an awesome knife right here and an awesome value. You're going to be hard pressed to find better performance with this type of handle. Now, like I said, you can always go to the FRN and the s90V route, which is also a solid route. But for me personally, I'm going with the micarta and the extra, you know, 20 bucks in essence. Now, you'll probably see these someday drop down to 90, 89.99. But because they're a new release, that probably won't be for a little while. But like the Pyrite Light in s90V, that's dropped 10 bucks since coming out. So you can get a white one for 80, and I think these are the same price as well. And like I said, if you like, you know, you like pocket knives, but you want a more premium handle, you're not really worried about performance out of your blade per se. You just want something that's going to do good at everything, right? It's going to be a fine pocket knife steel just for day-to-day tasks. Then you can go with the RPM 9 versions that have a titanium handle with milling. And like I said, all these knives here can be outfitted with a milled titanium clip from Artisan and CJRB. These are some of the best aftermarket clips for the money that I have found, and they also come in a wide range of colors, and they also fit a lot of other patterns out there as far as other companies and their knives. I will link some of their pocket clips down in the description along with all of these knives. That way, if you're interested in checking one of these out, they will be down there in the description and pinned comment. You'll have to let me know, what do you think of Artisan and CJRB's last year here? They could easily be recommended as, most improved company of 2025. Going to have to give that a lot of thought here coming into the end of the year. I definitely have it down to 2 companies, and it's pretty close to neck and neck. But one of them has the slight edge, but the year's not over, and I want to see what happens. But CJRB and Artisan have really done an excellent job this year with their build quality, material choices, their design choices, and the value that they're bringing to the table is tremendous in a lot of cases. I look forward to hearing your thoughts and opinions. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up on this video. That really helps me out. It pushes it out there to more people, and the more people, the better. If you're new here to the channel and you enjoy knives and EDC, you're in the right place. Make sure you subscribe because I release videos like this every single day. I'd love to have you here. I'll pop up a couple of new videos. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you all again for watching. I will catch you on the next one.